The TARDIS lands in a space museum on Earth in the late 21st century, where the second Doctor, Jamie and Zoe learn that contact has been lost between Earth and the Moon. In this era, instant travel, TMAT, has revolutionized the Earth. Its people have lost interest in space travel. The Doctor and his companions travel to the Moon in an old-style rocket and reach the Moon base, control center for TMAT, only to find a squad of ice warriors have commandeered the base and plan to use the TMAT network to their advantage. Welcome, friends and companions. It's a beautiful day to live stream. Yes. So, a live stream. Haha! Sci-Fi fantasy fans and all sort of fans, you are welcome. Meet on this channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music and sport, and a special place on this channel for Doctor Who, my most beloved sci-fi series. This channel has multiple names. Yeah, that's because of the fact that this channel is constantly regenerating. But most of the time it's called Random Entertainment Channel. And the random end is because we will discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books and music. Random because we'll broadcast on non-fixed times, actually many different times. So it's also the case with Doctor Who. The Doctor is traveling in his TARDIS through time and space. In past, present, and future, in different universes, parallel universes, galaxies, planets, and all. I know. So the reason we do live streams on many different times is because we have different time zones in this world, and to meet as much people as possible, I do the live streams on different times. So you need to subscribe to this channel actually to know what time the broadcast is. Random, also because we have no guests or different guests. It depends on to join me in the live stream or panel. If you want to join me in the live stream, feel free to contact me. You can put a comment on one of the videos, or you can visit me and meet me on the Discord server of the Random Entertainment channel. I will look what is possible. What also is possible is to invite me for your channel for a live stream or panel. I want to meet you, and I want to talk about you, what you are interested in, and what you like. And so, in summary, you are invited to take a place and seat next to me, and you are free to invite me for your channel for a live stream or panel to talk about things we are interested in. Yes. So the Discord server is called Random Entertainment Channel. Tag Doctor Who on Discord and you'll find me very quick because I bump the server regularly. So cheers, man. Have lots of fun. Your host, Enigmatic Joker. That's me. Today, a second Doctor story, The Seeds of Death. Some we begin with some general info. Then we'll dive into the plot. This story has 6 episodes, so it's a long story. And after the plot, I will dive immediately some story notes and then also some continuity. So perfect. So let's go then. The Seeds of Death was the fifth serial of season 6 of Doctor Who. It saw the second appearance of the Ice Warriors. They had been chosen for a reappearance shortly after the broadcast of the Ice Warriors. The monsters had been popular, and it was hoped this would justify the high cost of their costumes. Of visual interest was Ferguson's use of point of view and angled shots. At the time it was written, Fraser Hines was considering leaving the show. He finally signed on for the season, apparently at Patrick Troughton's request. This meant Brian Hayles had trouble writing the script, a problem made worse when he was asked to leave the Doctor out of part 4. He was unable to complete the script, and Terrence Dicks rewrote much of the story, which Hales consent, though Hales still received full credit on screen. Dix brought in the Martin feat and removed a subplot in which Dia Kelly was hypnotized. So that's some general info. We will not dive into the plot, so spoiler alert, if you haven't watched this story yet, I highly recommend you to do that. Otherwise, you can decide for yourself to listen further again. So, we go episode by episode, and we have 6 episodes. Okay, episode 1. At the TMAT control center, Miss Tia Kelly, the manager of the center, is infuriated by one of her subordinates. Liu Shan is in charge of the Moon Center and is delaying traffic to Moscow through his ineptitude. Osgood arrives to relieve Feshan. He enters a TMAT booth and disappears. On the Moon, Osgood berates Feshan for sloppy work. Osgood is especially annoyed as it was him who recommended Feshan for promotion. As Feshan leaves for Earth, the alarm to the outer door air locks sounds and screaming is heard inside the base. They open the door to reveal Phipps, Lucky, and Harvey. Osgood orders everyone to stay still as a creature moves towards them. Harvey panics and runs, but is killed by the creature. The delay at the Moon Center is noticed on Earth. No contact can be made. Osgood refuses to cooperate with the creatures, but is given no choice. He is led over to the machine and begins to operate it. The machine begins to smoke. Osgood announces with a smirk that the circuits have overloaded. Osgood is killed. Kelly desperately seeks a cause for the lack of communication from Moon Center, but there is no damage anywhere. Kelly's superior, Julian Rednor, is putting pressure on her to sort it out. The TARDIS lands. The Doctor turns on the scanner to see a space rocket outside. He redirects it and sees a space helmet bearing the legend CCCP. Initially, the Doctor is confused as the rocket comes from the 21st century, whereas the space helmet is from the 1960s. He turns the scanner again to reveal a flying machine designed by Leonardo da Vinci. He realizes that they are in a museum. They go out to explore. As they look around, Zoe operates a video about the TMAT. The commentator in the video says TMAT is a way of providing instantaneous travel from any point through means of dematerialization that is faster than light. They look up from this video to find a man pointing a gun at them. The creatures at Moon Center are putting pressure on Fusion. He says the only person that can help now is Kelly on Earth, but there is no way to get there or contact her. The creature says he will destroy them all. Desperately, Fusion remembers the emergency TMAT link, but he discovers that it is damaged too. The creatures say they want it repaired by the time they get back. Lucky argues with Fusion, who is trying to fix the TMAT. He argues that he is allowing the aliens means of getting to Earth, but Fusion is fixated on survival. Kelly has figured out that the issue must be at Moon Center. Rednor is losing patience with Kelly, and as he himself is now under government pressure. Kelly states that with TMAT down, there is no way to get the moon other than by rocket, which are all scrapped now. Rednor realizes that it isn't quite true. The armed man questions the doctor and his colleagues as to why they are in the museum. He says he's Professor Daniel Eldred, that people come to his museum only to laugh at him, trespass or steal. The doctor doesn't understand why such a collection would be spurned. Eldred states that ever since the advent of T-Met rockets are a thing of the past and that nobody travels for adventure anymore. Eldred and the doctor get caught up talking about rockets. And Eldred states he used to be a designer of rockets for the government. Fewsham is trying to get Lucky to help him fix the emergency T-Met, but Lucky decides to fix the video link instead. Fewsham objects. At the museum, the alarm at the main door goes off, and Rednor and Kelly enter. Initially, Eldred assumes the doctor and his colleagues are spies working for Rednor, but when he doesn't recognize them, Eldred backs down. Rednor and Eldred used to work together, but Rednor gave up designing rockets when the TMAT system was in its infancy. Rednor states that he knows that Eldred has been building his own rocket for an unauthorized spaceflight. Eldred expects to get into trouble for this, but is shocked to hear that the government will subsidize the preparation for lift-off as long as he goes to the moon. Rednor wants to know how long it would take. Eldred refuses to comply. Lucky fixes the video link and sends an emergency message to the TMAT control center. The emergency message is put through the museum. Lucky states that there is an emergency and that Osgood is dead, but is cut off. At the Moon Center, the Ice Warrior leader Slaar has pulled the back out of the video link and another Ice Warrior moves forward. Slaar orders the Ice Warrior to kill Lucky. The Ice Warrior fires as Lucky slumps to the ground. End of episode 1. Episode 2. In the aftermath of Lucky's murder, Vips escapes. Fewsham defends himself to the Ice Warriors, saying he had no idea of Lucky and Vips' plan. Slaar orders him to fix the emergency TMAT link. Radner, Kelly, and the doctor try to convince Eldred to let him use his rocket. He refuses, saying it is only partially prepared. Radner offers any assistance he desires, but Eldred still refuses. Eldred is seemingly disappointed that he himself cannot go. The doctor, Jamie, and Zoe want to help, but cannot. The TARDIS not being accurate enough for such journeys. Instead, the doctor offers himself and his colleagues as crew for the mission. Eldred still declines. A call comes from Rednor. The world is going into panic over the lack of TMAT. Rednor tries to convince Eldred that he can remedy all this. Rednor sends for his men. The rocket will be used even without Eldred's consent. The Ice Warriors are still searching for Vips. One approaches the solar energy storeroom. Vips is hiding inside. The Ice Warriors enter, look around, doesn't see Vips, and leaves. Caddy is dubious about the credentials of the doctor and his colleagues. Rednor assures her that in the briefing the doctor and Zoe had more knowledge on space travel than Eldred. Caddy questions Jamie's involvement. Rednor asks the doctor if Jamie should go, but Jamie kicks up a fuss. Eldred points out that they only have enough fuel for a one-way journey and will have to refuel on the moon. Furthermore, they only have enough food and water for 3 days. Kelly wants to go with the doctor and Zoe, but Rednor blocks her. An Ice Warrior watches over Fewsham. He's nearly finished. Slaar states that Earth is there for the taking very soon. In the solar energy storeroom, Vips is putting some equipment together. He unearths the solar power line. Kelly, Radner, and Eldred prepare the launch. The doctor's principal objective is to re-establish video contact with Earth so Kelly can help fix the TMAT. They are 3 minutes away from launch. Inside the rocket, Zoe and the doctor prepare Jamie for the effects of the G-force. As the launch edges closer, Eldred is very concerned. Rocket launches. Eldred marvels at the sight. This soon slips into panic when the video link between the rocket and launch control is dead. They try to contact them by radio. But Dr. Jamie and Zoe do not answer immediately as they have yet to activate automatically gravity control. As soon as they do, Zoe radios in. There is concern at the communication circuits have started smoking. Fushem has finished. Slaar orders him to activate the link, but on receive only. Team at Control contact Kelly and Radner to state that they now know what the issue is on the moon, but are shocked when they see that there is no activation between the Earth and the moon. Kelly goes to join them. Radner objects, but Kelly blocks in, saying that she will go over his head if necessary. Phipps has completed his machine and activates the solar power line. Fushem is sitting disconsolate as the teammate glows. Receive Kelly and the two other technicians. He tells her that Osgood contracted space madness, killed Lucky, and went out into space with no suit on. Fushem says he sedated Phipps because of his panic. Kelly says about fixing teammate. Slaar and another warrior watch on. Slaar orders him to continue to seek out Phipps. Phipps has constructed a primitive radio. He tries to contact Earth, and there's no response. He tinkers with it and tries again. Still no response. In the rocket, they've now lost all communication with Earth. They decide to try to lock onto the homing beam that will help them to land on the moon. Jamie is worried that this might not work, but the doctor assures him it is controlled by solar power, so will not be affected. They activate it and start to receive the beam. Phipps tries communicating again, but an ice warrior approaches him from behind. Just as he reaches out his hand, Phipps flicks a switch which turns his machine into a weapon, evaporating the ice warrior. He flicks it back and tries to contacting the Earth again. Behind him, the light indicating the activation of the homing beam is now off. The doctor, Jamie, and Zoe panic now. They have no homing beam. They will either crash on the moon or drift on endlessly through space. End of episode 2. Episode 3. Phipps attempts to contact Earth again, to no avail. So he figures out that within 5 months and 10 days their rocket will be sucked into the sun. Jamie points out that is irrelevant as they only have food and water enough for 3 days. The doctor picks up Phipps' signal and contacts him. Phipps tells the doctor of the invasion. Kelly gets the teammate working again and is about to head back to Earth when she and her team were ambushed by ice warriors. One of the technicians makes a run for it and is killed. The other technician tries to attack an ice warrior but is also killed. The team on the rocket are waiting until the ship is on the right side of the moon so as to contact Phipps again. They discuss the manner of the alien invading the moon. Phipps described them as biped, reptilian, and wielding a sonic device. Jamie and the doctor decide it must be the ice warriors seeking a new home on Earth. Phipps' signal returns. The doctor asks for his help in landing. Phipps refuses, saying that it is too dangerous. Instead, the doctor should contact Earth or return to inform them. When the doctor states he can do neither of those things, Phipps complies. The doctor tells Phipps he intends to adapt the homing equipment to track his radio signal. By the time this has been done and Zoe had calculated the approach trajectory, there are only 17.5 seconds only until they need to land. They adopt landing positions. As they begin their descent, The signal dies. The doctor tries to land manually. In the solar energy storeroom, Phipps tinkers with his equipment. The doctor successfully looks back on the radio signal and the rocket lands. Zoe and Jamie are to remain on the rocket and refuel while the doctor sets off to find Phipps. Jamie is tasked with keeping an eye on the refueling, while Zoe goes to look at the rocket motors. Fusion informs the Ice Warriors that all cities are now operational from the moon. Caddy tries to stop Fusion. Caddy questions the Ice Warriors as to their plan. If they use T-Met, they will be met with the resistance of all the armies in the world. Slar informs her there will be no resistance. Fusion asks then what the fate of himself and Caddy will be. He's told that they will remain alive when they are useful. Caddy says she will never help them. The doctor has made his way to the solar energy storeroom, where he is nearly attacked with a spanner by Phipps. The doctor tries to get as much information as he can from Phipps. He learns that there aren't many ice warriors, but they are deadly. The doctor states his plan to destroy T-Met. He contacts Jamie and says he will bring Phipps back to the rocket once he has destroyed T-Met. Jamie informs Zoe of Doctor's plan. Zoe tells Jamie that the rocket motors aren't functioning and that they will need T-Met to return to Earth. They try to contact the doctor, but there is no response. They set off to find him. Phipps and the doctor make their way to the center of the moon base. They encounter an ice warrior accompanying Kelly. The ice warrior pulls its weapon on Phipps and the doctor, who run. Kelly escapes too. The doctor is pursued relentlessly by the ice warriors and is eventually trapped. He suggests that he be taken to their leader as he is a genius and can be useful. The ice warriors comply. Jamie and Zoe sneak through the corridors of the main base. They hear a noise and hide. It's an ice warrior. Once they think they have eluded it, it turns and approaches them. They run and hide. It has pursued them, but passes them by this time. They continue their search for the doctor. Slar is given orders to Fusion. Um, he's to prepare the T-Met to deliver cargo to Ottawa, Oslo, Stockholm, and Hamburg. The plan is interrupted by the Ice Warriors returning the doctor. Slar dismisses the two other Ice Warriors and orders them to find Kelly. Slar questions the doctor and asks him how he got to the moon base. The doctor evades answering, but Fusion says there is no such thing as rocket travel anymore, so he must have been here the whole time. Doctor plays on this and asks how they can be sure of this, and that Earth could be preparing a whole fleet of rockets to attack the Ice Warriors. The doctor asks what the Ice Warriors' plan is, as there are too few of them to conquer Earth. Sly ignores him, but orders another Ice Warrior to prepare the seats and then orders that all the humans are to be guarded. The doctor asks Fuchsia why he is helping the Ice Warriors, before informing him sternly that he's going to help him now. Jamie, Zoe, Phipps, and Kelly have all met up in the solar energy storeroom, where the latter have informed the former of the doctor's capture. Jamie talks about his previous encounter with the Ice Warriors, that their weakness is heat. Kelly says that the heating system is at the center of the moon base where many Ice Warriors are guarding. Phipps comes up with a plan to use the maintenance tunnels. The grate of the tunnel is rusted, closed, and may take some time to remove. Jamie implores him to hurry as time is come and something the doctor doesn't have a lot of. The doctor and Fuchsium have hatched a plan, but Fuchsium is reluctant to execute it. Eventually, he goes along with it. He acts as a decoy to distract the Ice Warrior guarding them, whilst the doctor goes to investigate the seats. He's caught by Schlar, who orders him to open the case. He removes what appears to be a seed pod. It swells in the doctor's hands and bursts, knocking the doctor to the ground unconscious. Zoe sees an ice warrior approaching to the solar energy storeroom. Jamie uses a crowbar to jam the door closed, but the ice warrior is forcing his way in. Phipps and Kelly desperately try to switch the radio into its weapon state whilst Jamie holds the door closed. Jamie lets the alien in, and it is destroyed. An ice warrior puts one of the seats pots in the teammate cubicle. Shem is ordered to prepare a transport to London. Rednor and Eldred are told that big cities are on the point of starvation due to the lack of teammate deliveries. Shem is ordered to activate the transport. The seat pod disappears. The seat pod appears in London. Rednor's Rednor's joy at the teammate working again is replaced with puzzlement at the sight of the seat pod. An engineer named Brent goes to pick up the seat pod and it begins to swell. End of part 3. We are now halfway. Episode 4. The seat pod bursts, causing all 3 men to stagger back. Brent, who is closest to it, has been killed. Rednor orders the air conditioning to be set to expel and orders an immediate autopsy of Brent. When questioned as to what could have happened, Eldred says it reminds him of the way some plants reproduce and spread their seeds. Slaar is having Fewsham send the pots to Ottawa, Oslo, and Hamburg. In the solar energy storeroom, Caddy is attempting to fix the weapon whilst waiting for Jamie and Phipps to return from the vent. Jamie and Phipps emerge from the vent by the center of the moon base. They see Fewsham and the Ice Warriors transmitting the seed pods. They worry as to where the whereabouts of the doctor. Rednor and Eldred receive news of seed spots in 16 more cities, causing 6 more deaths. Eldred wonders if there is a pattern to where the seed pods are appearing. Rednor receives the autopsy report back, and it is revealed that Brent died of instant oxygen starvation, a contradiction in terms. Eldred worries that the gas that caused this is now out in the air in London. Outside in a park, foam is forming. The ice warriors have finished dispelling their pots. Fewsham asks after the doctor. Slaar asks if he is still alive. Fewsham says he is. Slaar says that is unusual. They order Fewsham to drag the doctor to the teammate capsule. All this is watched by Jamie and Phipps through the grill. The Ice Warriors order Fewsham to send the doctor between the moon and the Earth. Jamie and Phipps move around to the tunnel alongside the teammate cubicle. Fewsham says he can't kill the doctor. Slaar points out his sending of the seed pods has killed his whole species. Fewsham refuses, but Slaar threatens him with his life. Fewsham says it will need reprogramming. Jamie and Phipps may have made it to the side of the cubicle. Slaar hurries Fewsham. Jamie and Phipps remove the grill between the tunnel and the cubicle, only to find another. Fewsham says he is almost ready. Slaar tells him to operate the teammate. He refuses, but they force him. Fewsham turns to see the doctor gone and loses his mind. Slaar tells him to prepare to dispatch to London. Slaar approaches another and reminds him of his mission. Fewsham says he needs to reprogram the teammate again. The doctor is saved by Jamie, who heads off back to the solar energy storeroom with him. Phipps heads off to the heating control on the next level up. 2 ice warriors are guarding it. He slowly removes the grate, but finds he can't fit through the vent. The foam in the park has now taken over a large area and is spitting and fizzing. Rednor has received the autopsy reports of all killed by the gas. They all died of immediate oxygen starvation. 2. He receives a report of a vegetable blight in parks, and foam covering acres of land in minutes and wine spreading the foam. As this report is read out, an ice warrior appears in the T-Met capsule and rages terror over the control center, slaughtering all the guards who try and shoot it. In the moon base, Slar steps up the search for the missing humans. Phipps has returned to the solar energy storeroom. Says there's no way he can reach the heating controls. So he says she will do it. Jimmy tries to block such a dangerous mission, but Kelly sanctions it. Zoe and Phipps head off. The Ice Warrior on Earth makes his way through the foam. Wagner and Eldred puzzle over where the creature could be going and what its purpose might be. The Ice Warrior comes across some men spraying seeds. As the foam covers them, the Ice Warrior kills them. Phipps and Zoe have got lost in the tunnel system. Phipps starts to crack up. A security guard reports to Rednor and Eldred about the whereabouts of the Ice Warrior, but is killed immediately. Rednor orders all men to trail the creature. Eldred says it is madness that he is only threatening more of his men. Eldred realizes that all of the cities where the seed pods have appeared are in the northern hemisphere and therefore experiencing winter. Meanwhile, the Ice Warrior is making his way to the park with great purpose. Phipps, can, Phipps still can't remember which way to go, so reveals she can picture the map that the doctor showed her and leads her the way. Phipps is skeptical, but they get to the center of the moon base. An Ice Warrior is guarding the controls. Back in the solar energy storeroom, Kelly and Jamie worry about the whereabouts of Zoe and Phipps when they are interrupted by an Ice Warrior. They hide, and when the Ice Warrior is in the line of fire of the weapon, Kelly operates it, but nothing happens. The Ice Warrior starts to leave, but turns and approaches the table where the doctor is lying. Fuchsia is complaining to the Ice Warrior, uh, uh, guarding him, but sees Phipps and Zoe undoing the grill. He acts as a decoy to the Ice Warrior, leading him over to the T-Met capsule so he can fix it. So he sneaks in and reaches the heating controls. He cannot move it initially, but soon turns it. Heat begins to rise. The Ice Warrior turns. Phipps calls out to warn Zoe. The Ice Warrior kills Phipps and starts to approach Zoe. So he screams to Fusham for help. End of episode 4. Episode 5. As the Ice Warrior approaches Zoe, Fusham intervenes. The Ice Warrior beats him off, but is affected by the heat before he can kill either of them. Fusham tells Zoe that the T-Met is now working and he can get them all to Earth. So he runs off to tell the rest. The doctor wakes up as the Ice Warrior approaches him. Jamie jumps out and knocks the Ice Warrior's weapon from his hand. A fight ensues between the Ice Warrior, Kelly, and Jamie. As it looks like the Ice Warrior is about to overpower them, the heat affects it and collapses to the ground. The doctor catches up on what has been happening. So he returns and explains all that has happened. The heat took T-Met control. Sir James Gregson, the United Nations Plenipotentiary, is in charge of T-Met, has visited Rednor's London base. He's highly skeptical of Rednor's report and thinks he is at fault for all that has gone wrong. The Earth-bound Ice Warrior has made its way to the weather control station. Once inside, it kills the scientist in charge and sets the weather control unit to dry before disabling it. The doctor and his colleagues have arrived at the center of the moon base. Fuchsia says he will send them all back to Earth. The doctor points out that someone needs to stay to operate the controls, but Fuchsia states They have a time switch which delays transportation by 10 seconds. He will send them off and then follow using time switch. Kelly states that the recent report from the moon base declared the time switch was broken, but Fuchsia says they fixed it. The doctor, Jamie, and Zoe go first. As soon as they arrive back at the Earth Control, they are cross-examined by Rednor. This is only heightened when Kelly arrives. When Fuchsia does not arrive, Kelly realizes that he was lying about the time switch, which the Moonbase report confirms is still out of order, and states it is positive proof that he is still working for the Ice Warriors. Doctor wonders why he let them escape. On the Moonbase, Fuchsia hears Slar coming and pretends to be unconscious. Slar reels in and ropes for the heating control. Once back to normal, Fuchsia says he was attacked by the doctor and his colleagues because he did not want to accompany them. This endears him to the Ice Warriors. They tell him of the second stage of the invasion, a fleet to arrive on the moon. The doctor explains how everything is linked together. He wants to experiment on the phone. Kelly, Zoe, and Jamie discuss the motives of Fuchsia, whilst Kelly is trying to fix T-Met. Whilst fetching the foam, a seed pod burst, causing the doctor to cough and gasp for air. Kelly has come up with a plan. They can bypass using the moon as a relay by using a specially designed satellite that they will relaunch. The doctor has discovered the foam is an organic substance that reduces the oxygen content of the atmosphere by 20 times, the exact same atmosphere as Mars. The foam in the test tube starts to swell. Doctor tries to find an antidote for this process by wildly throwing substances on it. Finally, one works. Jamie and Zoe puzzle as to why only one Ice Warrior was sent. This is interrupted by the doctor reporting by video link. He tells them that the antidote for the foam is water. He tells Zoe to tell Ratnor to send an envoy to the water control unit and get them to create as much rain as possible. The doctor signs off. Zoe and Jamie try to locate Ratnor, but he is in a meeting. So he decides to go there herself, but convinces a skeptical Jamie to go with her. On the moon base, the Ice Warriors deliver a communication unit which is connected to the solar batteries from the base, which will transmit a directional beam signal to their fleet. Zoe and Jamie arrive at the weather control station, avoiding the foam and encroaching on it. They close the door behind them. They discover the scientist lying dead and the weather control unit destroyed. The Ice Warriors approaches, forcing Zoe and Jamie to hide. The Grand Marshal of the Ice Warriors asks of the plan's success. His fleet is approaching. Fuchsia activates the video link with Earth covertly. On Earth, they are preparing for the satellite launch when the video comes through. The doctor orders they record what is being transmitted. Vartes Fuchsia insists they test the beam and says out loud how on any inaccuracies in the transmission will cause the fleet to overshoot into the gravitational pull of the sun. Star discovers the video link open and orders one of the Ice Warriors to kill Fuchsia and destroy the camera. The doctor orders the cancellation of the launch of the satellite. They will adapt it and use it to transmit the beam that they recorded so as to confuse the fleet. In their joy, it is discovered that the message that the doctor gave to Zoe has not been communicated. They realize that Zoe and Jamie might have gone to the weather control station themselves, the last known location of the Ice Warrior. The doctor rushes out. Foam subsumes the weather control station as the doctor approaches it. Doctor carefully makes his way through the foam. He reaches the door to discover it locked. He beats at the door as the foam begins to engulf him. On the point of discovering Jamie and Zoe, the ice warrior is distracted by the doctor's shouts. The doctor falls into the foam. A bubble of noxious gas begins to grow just by the doctor's face. End of part of episode 5. Last episode, episode 6. Jamie distracts the ice warrior, drawing it away from the door. The doctor is still outside being consumed by foam. Zoe has reached the door and pulls it open just in time. Some of the foam flows in before she can close the door. Zoe tells the doctor of the ice warrior. Jamie has been cornered by the ice warrior, who fires his weapon at him. He ducks out the way and runs, blocking it in the room. He meets up with the doctor and Zoe as the ice warrior frees itself by blasting through the door. They seek refuge in the solar energy room. It has a radiation door to keep the ice warrior out. They activate it just in time. They set about making a solar energy weapon like the one that Phipps created on the moon. Outside, the weather control station security guards are spraying the foam so as to access the building. They reach the door, enter, and encounter the ice warrior. Many of them are killed. The doctor has replicated the solar energy weapon. They hear the gunfire and open the door to kill the ice warrior. It has gone. They use some Keblin so as to extend the weapon further. The guards are starting to retreat, pursued by the ice warrior. More are killed. The doctor sets out in pursuit of the ice warrior. He finds it, gives the word to Zoe to flick the switch, and kills the ice warrior. Rednor is impatiently waiting at the base for news. Doctor videos to say all is okay and that there is some damage to the weather control unit, but he is looking into it. Caddy's satellite is ready to launch. She replicates the homing beam signal, but Eldred questions how she is going to get it to the launch pad. She replies that she found a petrol car in a motor museum. Eldred is intrigued and asks the make of the vehicle, but she replies, I have no idea, but it's got 4 wheels and it goes. The doctor sets about fiddling with the weather control unit. The Grand Marshal of the Ice Warriors is furious with his Ice Warriors on the moon for killing Fuchsia, the only person who could have used the TMET controls. Slar promises to fight another human. The invasion's plans are finalized. The doctor fixes the weather control unit and sets about the process to make it rain. Before leaving the weather control station, he wants to customize his solar weapon. The satellite has been successfully launched. The doctor enters with a portable solar weapon. He says he is going to TMET to the moon and turn off their homing beam so as to confirm the doom of the Ice Warrior fleet. He heads off. Once on the moon, the doctor sneaks out and kills the Ice Warrior guarding the transmitter. He begins to tinker with it when he is interrupted by 2 Ice Warriors. The doctor surrenders. They destroy his weapon. Just before they destroy the doctor, Slart asks him if he can operate TMET. He is unsure but agrees so as to save his life. Back on Earth, everyone is worried as to why the doctor has not returned. The Grand Marshal says the fleet are entering the gravitational field of the moon. The Ice Warriors tell the doctor that, on their arrival, the fleet are to be sent into Earth via TMET. On Earth, everyone watches the radar. They watch as the fleet veer away from the moon and towards the satellite. Jamie is still concerned about the doctor and whispers to Zoe. She is to send him to the moon to help the doctor. The Grand Marshal reports to the Ice Warriors that their plan is unraveling and that they are heading towards the sun. They cannot use their retroactive rockets as they do not have sufficient fuel. Slar turns on the doctor, who explains that the beam was only transmitting as far as the room and nowhere else. Slar states that Earth is still doomed due to the foam. Doctor tells him about the rain he has produced and that all the foam will be destroyed. Slar orders the execution of the doctor. He is distracted by the rival Jamie. Jamie leaps over the control unit and tackles an Ice Warrior as the doctor directs the weapon of another ice warrior at Slaar, killing him. Jamie and the doctor then hook the solar weapon up to the panels in the wall and kill the last remaining ice warrior. They return to Earth. On Earth, rain has destroyed the foam. T-Met is returning to normal, and they have gained control of the weather, and the UN congratulates Rednor. Eldred tries to convince Rednor and Kelly that they should always have rockets on standby in the future, and turns to the doctor to ask for his opinion. However, the doctor, Jamie, and Zoe have gone. A soaking wet doctor, Jamie, and Zoe reach the museum and return to the TARDIS. Jamie asks if the doctor had to make it rain that hard, but the doctor, who is in a bad temper, tells him, "Really, Jamie, sometimes I think you're never satisfied." When Zoe asks where they are going now, Jamie says that the doctor has no more idea about that than the man in the moon. The doctor overhears this and snaps, "I heard that, Jamie," and bundles him and Zoe inside. The TARDIS dematerializes. And that, my friends and companions, is the end of this 6 episode story, The Six of Death. The cast. Doctor Who is played by Patrick Troughton. Jamie McCrimmon is played by Fraser Hines. Zoe Harriet is played by Wendy Bedbury. Slaar is played by Ellen Benyon. Sia Kelly is played by Louise Payo. Computer voice is voiced by John Whitty. Brent is played by Eric Felgate. Osgood is played by Harry Taub. Rednor is played by Ronald Leigh Hunt. Fewsham is played by Terry Scully. Phipps is played by Christopher Cole. Lucky is played by Martin Court. Eldred is played by Philip Ray. The Ice Warriors are played by Steve Peters, Tony Harwood, and Sonny Coldinis. Security Guard is played by Derek Slater. Sir James Gregson is played by Hugh Morton, and Brent Marshall is played by Graham Lehman. Some world building. When walking dazedly, the doctor mentions Victoria Waterfield, one of his former companions. Another thing in world building is that the doctor admits TARDIS isn't suited for a short range travel. And another thing is that in world building is that Zoe states T-Met is faster than light. Um, Some story notes is that Brian Hayles was initially under the impression that Fraser Hines will depart the series, and in his original draft, James was given to a new companion named Nick. But yeah, Fraser Hines stayed. Yes. Patrick Troughton does not appear in episode 4 as he was on holiday during the week. It was recorded. Doc is seen only as an unconscious figure, with Tom Laird doubling for Troughton with his face out of vision. Um, there was one funny thing is that when Zoe lets the doctor inside the weather control bureau, falls into the foam and she's clearly smiling as she closes the door. This was because of Patrick Troughton generally slipped over, and Wendy Petbury was trying not to laugh. Um, okay. So there were some notes, story notes. Now some continuity, because again and again in the universe, stories and episodes are to some extent related to each other, influence. linked to each other, and yeah, referencing to each other. Um, Five things. That is, first thing is that the Doctor and Jamie have previously met Ice Warriors in the TV story The Ice Warriors. Second thing is that in prose Eternity Weeps, the T-Met is used to get to the moon. A third thing also in prose is that Transit mentions T-Met in reference to the Stunner project. Something in audio in Deimos is that by the 23rd century, humanity believed that the last of the Ice Warriors were killed when their invasion fleet spiraled into the sun. A documentary on the incident was produced and broadcast on the History Channel. So, yeah, that's audio demos. Last thing in continuity. The Doctor later claimed in a guide he wrote that the T-Met caused the end of, quote, the first great and bountiful space race, end quote. Also in prose, Doc's side of the moon. And that, my friends and companions, is all I have to say about this story, this six-parter. So, now some commercial. Sci-Fi Fantasy fans meet on this channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We'll also talk about food and drinks, music and sport, and a special place on this channel for Doctor Who. Random, because we discuss everything involves entertainment, including movies and series, books and music. Random, because we broadcast non-fixed times, actually many different times. You need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. Random also, because we have no guests or different guests. It depends on join me in a live stream or panel. If you want to join me in a live stream, feel free to contact me via Discord, YouTube, and we'll look what is possible. And also it's possible to invite me for your channel. I'll also contribute to your channel and in a panel, in a live stream. Feel free to contact me. The Discord server is called Random Entertainment Channel. Tag Doctor Who on Discord. You find me very quickly because because I bump the server regularly. So cheers, man. Have lots of fun. Your host, Enigmatic Joker. So I'm looking forward to meet you. Okay, see you next day. See you next time. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Bye bye.